All right, how you guys doing? Welcome to another video. I know I'm not supposed to start videos like that in the modern YouTube age. I'm supposed to start it with like the promise I'm going to give away $100,000, but I'm not going to do that. I am instead going to give away something much more valuable: happiness. Because this is a video about absolutely nothing serious. I've just uncovered not one, not two. Well, actually, it's only two. I've uncovered two incredibly hilarious, unique plays, and they come from two of the rising stars of the footballing world. I feel like that's fair to say. Japan, the JLeague, and the US, MLS, right? These two leagues that are growing in popularity and the amount of money that they're spending in just general whatever, right? In two leagues that obviously represent countries with a ton of people and a great sporting infrastructure. And so they're trying. They're trying. But I'd say they haven't quite made it yet based off of these two plays. Now, I'll go ahead and say that I would like to apologize to the players involved in these plays for showing them, and it doesn't mean that they're not way better than me, right? But it is quite heartening to see professional athletes reduced to such a reduced to making such a mistake that I would have definitely made it on the playground in 8th grade. The first one comes from Yokohama FC. Now, Yokohama FC, they're struggling. Them boys are not having a good time in J-League 1. They are in 17th. They're right above the relegation zone. They're hanging on for dear life. I mean, plenty of the season left to play. Also, separate side note, Yokohama F. Marinos, who Ange Postecoglou took to a title not that long ago in Japan, is now in dead last. I don't know what happened there, right? But they won a title a couple of years ago, and now all of a sudden they're the worst team in Japan. So maybe they've got some of that MLS problem where you win the league and it's a curse upon both of your houses, right? Well, Yokohama F. Marina, or not, I'm gonna get them mixed up. Yokohama FC is playing against Kawasaki Frontale, and they end up losing the match 2-1. Right? They score in the 4th minute, but then equalizer in the 33rd, own goal in the 83rd, scored by Boniface Nduku. This guy's a Japanese player. Dad's Nigerian, mom's Japanese, born and raised in Japan, been in the J-League for a hot second, according to his Wikipedia that I definitely looked up. I'm not that knowledgeable. Okay, I didn't know who Boniface Nduka was before he produced this absolutely spectacular own goal. So the way this happens is we have what I would describe as a goalkeeper on walkabout. Okay, so it's 1-1, 84th minute or 83rd minute, sorry. This is a replay. The goalkeeper is coming out to attempt to play the ball. Now, he makes a crucial mistake. He just heads it straight up in the air. I don't know what he's thinking he's going to accomplish. This is Manuel Neuer, but without the skill. Ideally, you'd want to head the ball over here, right? But he's just kind of panicking. He runs out, and he pops the ball straight up in the air, right? And this guy is now thinking that he is tripped and fallen into a bed of roses here because the ball, this is some sort of drill that you would work on in training, right? The ball is popped up directly in front of him, and all he's going to have to do is kind of volley this down towards the goal. So he takes his time, uses his technique as a professional footballer, and volleys it towards the goal. Now, this is a very complex play for this defender, right? It bounces out of his reach, and then it's going to bounce up and actually hit the crossbars. The defender's flying in to try and bike it away, and that's great news. The ball is now not going in the net. Huge developments. Until it meets Boniface Nduka, who, again, has had a nice, long professional career in Japan, playing in big stadiums that most of us could only dream of, right? He makes a play that I, as a defender in 8th grade soccer, would have made. It comes off the post, and he tries to, well, it really is. I get it. I get it. He tries to chest it and then volley it. For some reason, that's the answer that his brain spit out, right? For some reason, his brain was like, I'm going to chest it and then volley this back. He is, of course, thinking, probably, that this guy is closer to him than he is. He is, of course, thinking that if he takes a touch or lets this bounce or turns around, which would have been totally possible in this situation, that he's going to be under duress. So the ball comes off the crossbar, and it comes directly to him, and he tries to chest it and then volley it away, and it just gets away from him, and it comes off the heel and ends up in the back of the net. And maybe the best part of the entire thing is the goalkeeper, who then just deadmans in the goal, and they can't believe what's just happened. And of course, while this is going on, you've got your third teammate who's just stuck in the net and also trying to get out. And everything about this play is ergonomically designed to make them feel as stupid as possible. But I got good news. It's not the only play. That might be the worst own goal you've ever seen. It's obviously a unique own goal. The type of own goal that you may never see again in your lifetime. A complete mess in a unique situation. But what I have for you now is not an own goal. What I have for you now is just a stupid play. A pure, as much as the MLS has grown, as much as the quality in MLS has grown, producing players like John Duran that can then go into the Premier League and be fantastic, right? This is a league that is definitely getting better, and I will die on that hill, and has been for a while. Well, Montreal's the worst team in the Eastern Conference, but they're up 1-0 against Columbus Crew, who are a good franchise. It's a good club. Right, Columbus Crew. Competitive. They made the CONCACAF Champions League final last year. So this is a surprise that Montreal is getting this result. And with a 1-goal lead in the 41st minute, they are attempting to break the press. And we have the goalkeeper bringing the ball in here. And he is going to play the ball under some duress on his end line. He's going to play it towards the defender for Montreal, who's just off your screen in this direction. This idea is a good one, but becomes obvious pretty easily, or pretty early, that this is not going to be an easy play. This ball is way too high for this guy. So what do? Do you let the ball go out? No. What are you, an idiot? Do you let the ball go out of play? No, you try to bring it down. And here's how. Here's how you try and bring it with, you know, it is reasonable that he maybe thought that he would be able to somehow control that with his heel. It would also have been reasonable if he tried to whirl around and take a touch, because even if it goes out of play off that touch, then it would, it's the same result. The ball's going to go out of play off Montreal either way. But I don't know if it was possible at all for going for that touch in particular to not end poorly. So he just throws his heel up and ends up accidentally playing Columbus Crew in 2-on-0. All he has to do is let this ball go out. And I mean, the best part about this highlight is the groan from the Montreal fans. I'm going to see if I can get that here. It's one of the loudest. Here, I'll turn up my slider. It is one of the loudest collective crowd groans you could possibly get.
Waterman.
I mean, what noise would you make in the stands if you watched your defense? I mean, it's the same as the last one. This is a situation that I've never really seen before, at least seen somebody attempt to handle before. It is a brain fart of the highest order. Then you see him, watch him after he makes the play. He turns around with a, oh, what have I done, But then Columbus Crew actually manages to somehow not score from this position, which then nearly makes it okay, because then he just takes the ball, and the same guy that made the mistake in the first place is the guy that ends up shoveling it clear. Now, how you turn a 2-on-0 into not scoring a goal, I don't know. But what I do know is that Columbus did end up drawing this match with a goal in the 63rd minute. So Montreal stays in the dungeon of the Eastern Conference here, down with 7 points. But look, we've learned a couple things. One, even if you're a professional footballer, you can do really dumb things. And two, it's usually the bad teams to whom this is happening. We have 17th in the JLeague, last in the Eastern Conference in MLS, giving us truly spectacular moments in the history of football here.